Jen, welcome to the Afterburn podcast. We were just talking, and we just started recording, and we're just getting to know each other.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad that you were willing to come on the show here. I don't even know what to call it yet. A show, I feel like I say podcast too many times. Like the
Podcasts are
the
cool.
podcast, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever that is, yeah. And I just want to say thank you for saying yes. You kind of know my heart behind this whole thing. I love indoor cycling. I love people who love indoor cycling, and we just want to spread our love and our stories and promote each other's channel and kind of all of the above. We just briefly started talking, and I'm already super interested in your story. But would you introduce yourself and tell me a little bit more so everybody knows, and then we'll get to it.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, my name is Jen Tufts, and let's see. I started as a Zumba instructor. Well, let's back up a little bit further. I was an RVT, registered vet tech, for 15 years, and I got burned out. And I always had this passion for fitness, and I was that coworker that always got everybody to do like marathons and stuff with me, and anyway, that was out when I lived in California, and then I moved back to Ohio in 2019, and I was like, I'm going to use this as a career change opportunity. And so I got certified in Zumba, got a job at the local gym called Super Fitness, which I'm still with. And that kind of bled into me ultimately becoming the general manager of this gym. And along the way, I fell in love with, where is it? There it is. Spin.
Come on. Which is a Stage's bike, by the way.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, I keep going the wrong way.
I know it's like backwards.
It's all opposite.
See, I've got my bike stage, my bike over here, and you got your bike. They're both Stages, by the way, everybody. If you're looking for a great bike, it's so good. By the way, they're kind of going through some crazy stuff right now. We might get into that, but anyway, I was going to ask you that when you started saying, hey, I wanted to get into fitness, make a career change.
Yeah.
Right away, I thought what you just said. And you said, I was the employee that said, hey, let's go do this. Let's go do that. Let's get everybody into fitness. Let's bring apples and oatmeal to work or what. I don't know. Right.
Yeah. I always got we worked overnights. And so in the middle of the night when there was nothing going on, I'm like, let's do some push-ups, And so I got pictures of all us vet techs on the floor doing push-ups.
That is pretty cool. So you do have obviously a love for animals. It's understandable that sometimes we get burnt out on things and all that. And by the way, I hope you find your dog. Like it's right before everybody, if you're listening to this, like right before we started recording, your kids accidentally let one dog or two dogs or your dog out.
Mm-hmm.
And you went looking, can't find. What's your dog's name?
Riley.
The
sweet little golden retriever. And so I put a police report in, and she's microchipped, so I'm not too terribly worried.
She's gonna be found. You have a tight-knit community. She's gonna come back.
But still got that sick gut feeling.
So, and I already said if we need to interrupt this, we're good. Everybody on my channel, they've seen Aspen Pedal, our little golden doodle, before. But that's super cool that you wanted to do that career change. You were that person, from day one that you were there and you said, hey, let's work out. You took that opportunity to switch and then dance. Now, I'm guessing just from, the little that I'm understanding now, when you got certified in Zumba, you probably were already taking classes before that, right? Like just attending classes, right? Okay.
Yep. I was at 24-Hour Fitness back before they closed in California. And the Zumba instructor out there, and then what do they call it? Body Pump. Mm-hmm. They just
the Les Mills brand.
Yes, Les Mills. Mm-hmm. Yep. They changed my life.
Love it.
And I just got hella inspired and decided to go for it.
So because, and I'm just kind of understanding your personality, because it does take a distinct personality type to do what we do, right? Yeah. Because we're in front of people, we're in front of cameras, we're here to inspire, we're here to help, we're here to bring hope, we're here to change smiles or turn frowns upside down, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And so I'm putting it all together now. I'm analyzing what I'm learning about you. You were the person that got everybody to work out, right? That means you were like a natural leader. you were a natural
I
front person.
tended to get those roles in employment and stuff. You know, when I was a kid, I was the shift leader for McDonald's, and then I got, you know, leadership roles throughout my life, and yeah, just kind of gravitate to that.
So people love to follow you. That's
Feels
that,
that way, which is
which
weird because I was the nerd and the quiet kid in school.
well, now everybody needs to follow your channel because you have an amazing cycling channel,
Thank
and
you.
it's only going to get better, and we're going to help build each other up with this.
Yes.
And that's super cool because it does take a distinct personality to be in, you know, in front of people. That took you all the way to being a GM right now. It sounds like I want to hear a little bit about that. But tell me, we started talking about how you started teaching cycle not too long ago. And I call it cycle, like spinning.
Yeah,
Like I got
yeah.
that
I
like
think
in
that
my,
those terms are interchangeable, right?
they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Like they, you know, I got that whole thing in my head where spinning's a brand, you know, so don't call it spinning, call
I
it
know.
cycle.
I've
And I'm
had
just like,
people DM me like, "Stop calling it spin." I'm like, "Ah."
I might have did that to them. So I'm sorry. I might have ruined that for you. I apologize. Cause
No,
I'm
it's all
like,
good.
I'll call it.
I
Yeah.
know.
But you know, what's crazy is if you look up, if anybody's looking up a cycling class online, they're going to type in spin class.
Right.
They're not going to type in indoor cycling. They might type in indoor cycling.
I've been trying to put that in my little
Yeah.
thumbnails and stuff. Indoor cycling.
Yeah. But you know, they're gonna, we have to
Mhm.
accept it. It's, you know, we're not trying to impose on Johnny G or anybody else, but
Right.
it's just what it's known for. You know,
Right.
it's just known as rather. But
Mhm.
tell me, I'm taking over the
Mhm.
conversation. Tell me how
Oh,
you got started.
oh, how I got started. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of a funny story. So Cycle Bar, I teach for Cycle Bar. That this is a brand new thing in my area. I'm in the Toledo, Ohio area. Brand new, like the closest one is an hour and a half north near like North Detroit.
So brand new boutique, brand new cycling,
Yes.
never
Nothing
heard of
like
it
it in the
before there.
area.
Okay.
Yep,
Gotcha.
yep. So the franchise owner who no longer owns the business there, he was PMing all the people in the local area, like join Cycle Bar, low prices, blah blah blah. So he PM'd me because you know I'm a local, and I was like, you know, being my snarky self, I was like, no, but I will teach for you. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck did I get myself into? I don't teach spin or
Yeah. Yeah.
indoor cycling. I don't teach cycling. And
Whatever.
so I went to the audition, and I very much am thankful for my Zumba background because that is how I was able to keep rhythm. So that's
Gotcha.
what they wanted. Since we were brand new, I didn't have to have like prior experience. They just wanted to see if that I could ride to the beat of the music. And so I passed my audition. I went through the Cycle Bar boot camp, got Cycle Bar certified, and I've been teaching ever since, and I love it.
And how long has it been again?
About 2 years. Well, yeah, we just hit our 2-year mark.
Oh my Lord.
Yep.
I've
So,
been I've been I've been doing this for like 15 years, and
oh my gosh.
I look at your channel, I'm like, she's been doing it for a while. Now you just tell me 2 years, like, man, you're not
Thank
making me
you.
feel good about myself. And now I'm just no. No, it just means you have a natural gift. I
Mhm.
mean, honestly, that's
Thanks.
super cool that it's been that long, you know, your natural, you know, bubbly personality, love for fitness, kind of all of the above, okay with being in front of people, all of
Which
that.
was acquired. That was not,
Yes.
yeah. Took
It's
some work.
totally required. Yeah. So what's tell me about the I have friends. I've even hired people from, I'm the studio leader at Lifetime. I was telling you, I've hired people from
Yes.
Cycle Bar. So I have two questions. I have a lot of questions, but I
Yeah.
have two things that I want to know. Tell me about the Cycle Bar boot camp. Like what is that like?
Oh, it was the worst thing I've ever done. I'm kind of kidding, kind of. So
Kind of.
I am a certified personal trainer, and I did the AFA group fitness thing. And
Huh?
out of those three with Cycle Bar was definitely the most absolute hardest. They are
Really?
so particular about how you cue and how you ride, and you have to. I probably can't be giving away too much information because
Sure.
it's so
No, no, no.
secretive,
Yeah.
but we had to film. So each class is approximately 12 songs, and
Okay.
so we had to film song 1, 2, 3, submit it, get it critiqued, and if you passed those songs, then you had to do that for 4, 5, 6, and so on.
Yeah.
And then you have to do a test out ride. And because
Okay.
we were a brand new studio, luckily I got to do all this in my garage. They let us borrow one of these bikes, which I own this one, but they let us borrow them at the time. And we had to film all this at home, and I'm losing my train of thought. So sorry, you're gonna have to edit this out.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
So
so you train at home, they're recording, you're submitting videos, you get to the next the next step or whatever, or how does that work?
Oh, yeah. So, the test out ride, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The test out ride. Oh my gosh. So because we were a brand new studio, normally they would make you do all this in the studio, but I never taught in front of anybody. I never rode in front of anybody at this point. They make us do a test out ride, and everybody's there. All these instructors that I've seen like on Zoom calls and stuff, they're all there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I passed.
That's so cool.
It was an intense process.
So were they literally saying yes, no, yeah?
There was a couple of us that didn't pass. They gave them a second chance.
Okay, but they were on the call. Y'all were on the call together when the announcements were being made.
I believe there was 15 of us.
That's
and
tough.
Along the line, one of them dropped out just because, and then not all of us made it.
Okay. Now I'm curious, is this something that every cycle bar, like, is this kind of like the what do they call that, SOP, like standard of operation across all of the franchise owners?
All cycle bar, they do require you to pass their boot camp.
Okay. And they all have their, so pretty much if you, anywhere you decided you wanted to apply at any, cycle bar specific, that you would go through this process.
Carries over to other cycle bars. I don't think I'd have to do boot camp again, but
right. But like somebody like me, let's say I have experience, I still have to do their boot camp. Is that accurate?
For cycle bar?
Yeah.
Like, like you mean other spin instructor or?
No, let's say I have experience. I want to go teach there.
Oh, yes. You would have to do the boot camp.
Yeah.
Despite any of your certifications that you have prior to cycle bar, you would have to do specific cycle bar training.
Yeah. No, and I don't disagree with that. I think, when we all speak the same language, we all kind of have a similar cadence. We call things the same things. Like there's a commonality. It helps bring, some kind of familiarity. That word always slips me, to the members. Right. And so they're going to get the gen type of workout because we all, like we were talking about before, we all have a different delivery method, a different tone of our voice, different music tastes. Right.
And that's the beauty of it, because each experience is so different.
Yeah.
Even class to class with the same instructor can be very different.
Yeah. I like that. So I have one beef with cycle bar, but
no.
All right. Maybe you know a little bit about it, but I have instructors that I had hired that worked at cycle bar, and then all of a sudden at one point, and I don't remember if this particular instructor, and I'm obviously not going to say their name or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember the series of events and how it went, but we hired this person, phenomenal, love, everything about this person. And then one day they said, hey, my manager at cycle bar said that we have a no compete rule or whatever.
Yes, and I'm not allowed to teach anywhere else.
Yeah. And so I guess my thought, and again, it is what it is. I mean, any business can decide whatever they want to decide, but in Colorado, and I wish I would have pulled this up, but there is a law that says if a business cannot pay you enough to be a full-time, to do that full-time, like to earn a full-time from cycle, then they can't keep you from doing it anywhere else. Have you heard of that law at all?
I have not, but honestly, I haven't really looked into it because I knew this wasn't going to be a full-time thing for me, and I didn't really want to teach anywhere else. So I never really looked into that, but that's interesting. Now you've intrigued me.
Yeah. And it's not, again, to each his own. But I feel like going down there one day and just say, come on, can we not share the love? Can we not share the love with the world's a big place.
Particular about their franchise or brand.
Well, to their credit, they've done something right, because they've been around and they're not going anywhere.
They just opened one in Japan.
Yeah, no, so
Mhm.
it's great. I just want to share the love though. That's it. Like with more
Right.
people. But
Right.
no,
Right.
that's great. So you started teaching, you had taught before, started teaching
Mhm.
Psycho Bar. What is that experience like as far as, because I know one of the things that is different at Psycho Bar is you got this atmosphere, this environment, you got the low lights, and
Mhm.
to be fair, most cycle studios do have
Yeah.
a similar vibe. But what do you think? What do you think? And maybe you do or don't know the answer to this, but what is really unique without giving away secrets? What do you think is like super unique about what you do in at Cycle Bar specific?
Well, cycle bars specifically, we really, really, really try to engage with our members. We
Mhm.
make such an effort to connect with them, to make them feel included. Like we write their names on the lockers and stuff so they feel welcome. We'll put little sticky notes on new riders' bikes and
Yeah,
stuff. And we always do shout outs like first time rider rocking that middle row and stuff. And so we really strive to make, and I know other studios probably do the same thing, but I know specifically our studio is very much into like making everybody feel welcome and that they're doing a great job. We always celebrate their milestones. Like if they hit ride 50, ride 100, we like light up their bike with numbers and stuff. It's
that's
really
cool.
cool. Yeah. It's
That
a neat
is cool.
community.
Yeah, and I guess, and then what is the I love that, because really at the end of the day it's all about community. It's all
Mhm.
about like how can we build connections? People statistics say that the more engaged and the more connected somebody feels to whatever that is. That could be a gym, that could be a church, that could be a
Mhm.
recreation center, that could be a community group. The more engaged and connected they are, the more likely they are to continue and stay a part of that community, right?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
that's really the secret sauce, it sounds like.
It is, it is,
Yeah.
that gym intimidation thing, it's real, and I know that from working at Super Fitness too, I see that all the time, and that is one of the reasons that I wanted to get into fitness is to eliminate gym intimidation because I've been there. It's scary. It's scary being the new kid. It's scary not knowing what you're doing or what you're walking into, and,
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to ever feel scared enough to not wanna come back or not feel welcome, or I mean, that's just it's gross. I don't want anybody to feel like that, so
I've never heard of gym intimidation. That's
No?
the first time. Yeah. I've
Oh!
honestly, like, I've been around,
I didn't make it
from
up.
yeah, no, it kinda has a thing to it. Like, with the
Yeah.
second you say it, I get it.
Mhm.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, gym
Um,
intimidation, man, it's a thing.
I'm
Mhm.
curious, everybody has a different take on this. Why do you think cycle in particular, spinning,
Mhm.
whatever we want to call it, uh, has like a reputation for either I'm in or I'm afraid? Like I'm no, 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 I'm scared to do that. I
Well,
don't like, what is your opinion on why?
check out Instagram.
Yeah.
That choreography that those people put on there, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's scary. I can't do that. Like, I don't know why I don't know. It's very intimidating, and in fact, side story, I did some social media stuff way back when we first opened. I'm doing like all these push-ups and stuff that I wouldn't do normally in class.
Yeah.
And the owner was like, "You can't post that. You're gonna scare someone." So yeah, I think that, people see that stuff, they get intimidated. Or I hear a lot of people who are like, I wouldn't be able to keep up with the cardio aspect of it. Like it
Yeah.
just looks so intense, it looks so intimidating, and I'm not
Sure.
cardiovascularly fit enough to do that.
Sure.
Well, I condones taking the saddle as much as you need.
Yeah.
I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
And I condone like going at your own pace and stuff.
Sure.
But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So
No, no, no. It's great. That's great because it speaks to how we have to help people,
Mhm.
especially when they're brand new, when they are intimidated. But they're the gym intimidation thing. Now I'm going to use that. You're going to hear that
All
on
yours.
future. You're going to hear that on future episodes. You're going to be like, I know where he got that from. Like,
Yes.
um, but no, it does take some people some time to warm up to some things, and if we could be better at that and help at that,
Mhm.
and not not share all these crazy Instagram, crazy, they're going to 1,000 miles
Right.
per hour.
Right.
Uh, the thing with the internet, it's kind of a double-edged sword because people who post those, they tend to get more clicks, more views, kind of all that,
That's the thing.
as
Yeah, 'cause it
opposed
looks
to, hey, let
cool.
me, yeah, let me show you something that's less intimidating.
Mhm.
You know, it might not be as engaging, right?
Right. That's
Yeah.
a good point. That's a very good
Yeah.
point. It is not as engaging to see the reality of it.
Right.
Yeah, so to get their clicks and likes and stuff, yeah, let's post the crazy stuff.
Yeah, and of course, it's the highlight of the highlight, right? Like,
Right, yeah, that's
it's a
not the whole class.
right, right.
That's like the peak.
It's the absolute peak. It's the absolute peak. So
Yeah.
I could see both sides to that. So it leads us to, and you know, via social media, and we're moving in that direction because I want to talk
Mm,
about your YouTube channel.
mhm,
But it leads us, those of us online, to say where's the happy medium to making it realistic to what I do, engaging, some energy there, right?
mhm,
But at the same time, I don't want you to be intimidated by what I'm doing, you know. And so there's a lot there that we have to navigate, you know, and be
mhm.
our authentic selves. Like
Yes.
we want to be who we are, which again makes each one of us unique
Mhm,
in how we deliver, how we teach, you know, all of that.
mhm, mhm.
Um, let's talk about YouTube. Let's talk about YouTube. I love that you're online. And again, we talked about how the algorithm of YouTube led us to one another, right? It's
Yes.
how we met,
Yep.
and how we, you know, discovered each other's channels and then reached out and
Mhm,
immediately you know, it was one of those things where, all right, I'm gonna subscribe to your channel, check it out. This is pretty cool. Another channel, and we kind of talked about it. There's not very many channels out there, right?
mm-mm.
Not very many.
No.
How did you get started? Why did you get started?
Well, I feel like everybody kinda goes back to lockdown. I created my YouTube channel for my Zumba, students, and I
Okay.
was posting Zoom like, I called it Zumba, you know, I was doing, like, Zoom classes and stuff. Anyway, I posted that on there, and, of course, YouTube shut a lot of that down because of the music and stuff. But, anyway, I kinda quit doing that because of YouTube's music thing,
Yeah.
copyright thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, March of last year, I kinda just it hit me. I was like, I need to revisit this idea. This seems like a good way to get out to the world. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I've made a good following here in Toledo and I wanted to touch more people. I wanted to help more people. And so I got on YouTube and I started with talking, just talking about fitness, about gym intimidation and things like that. And then I was like, "Oh, maybe I could do a couple workouts here and there." And then so I was doing like strength training stuff, like 5-minute fitness and stuff.
Mhm.
And then not knowing what my niche was at the time, I was posting random things like spin. And then I happened to get 2,000 some odd views. And I was like, "Oh, this is a thing." And so
Yeah.
then I started kind of going in that direction and it turned into this. I'm not a big channel by any means, but I think that's definitely my niche.
I
So,
love it. And
mhm.
so now you just do cycling videos, right?
Yes, I
Um,
have incorporated some one of the people on there requested that we did some mat work off the bike. So I have a couple videos like that,
sure.
but it's really hard to film because I use a green screen and it's
Yeah.
really difficult to edit that. So I don't know, it's not easy to do, but, I
Sure.
use dumbbells on the bike.
Yeah.
I got my
Yeah.
little pink dumbbells,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and, so I still try to do the strength training. In fact, I got a core-based workout that I'm posting this weekend where we're doing a lot of crunches on the bike and stuff,
Yeah.
and, another thing I wanted to mention too, the stuff that I do on YouTube is not cycle bar at all. This is all stuff that I've kinda created on my own. It's cycle
Sure.
bar, you know, it's got a little flare cycle bar flare because that's all I know.
Sure. Sure.
But because I can't post their formula or whatever, I have
Yeah.
to create things.
Their
And
format.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, you've inspired me to do some certain
Yeah.
things and stuff. And so, yeah, just kind of creating my own thing, doing Tabatas and
Yeah.
strength training and stuff on the bike.
No, I love it. I love
Mhm.
it. And the thing with YouTube, and you had kind of mentioned too, the music side of it. I was very frustrated early on with the music, and
Same.
I've learned a lot about it. I told you that Kaylee and Kaylee Cohen and Jason, I've learned so much from them on all levels, but music in particular, they've helped me kind of navigate what that, what that looks like. And it's kind of a double-edged sword. And I want to share this with you. And hopefully, I don't know how far you're into the journey. I would love to hear where you're at with the music side of things. But I had, initially, as you know, some videos will be blocked depending on what music you have. Right. And all of a sudden you did all this work, you did all this editing, and all of a sudden the world can't even see it. Right. And YouTube's like, would you like to mute this song? I'm like, yeah, that would go over great. Yeah.
Right.
Going all
Like,
crazy. And
what
also,
is this?
you know what, like, yeah, that this is not going to work. And so I even went down the rabbit hole of, all right, let me record just the music first, upload the music by itself, see if anything's going to get blocked. And the ones that get blocked, I'll eliminate those and then only use the ones that aren't, only to find that some did again, like what is going on right now?
Right.
So now I recently, and this is going to help maybe some of my subscribers understand some stuff. I got to a place on my channel where I was able to have channel subscribers, like, cause you have to have a certain amount of subscribers, this and that, or channel supporters. Like they can support you straight on YouTube. Members. Yeah, there it is. Channel members. Yeah. I don't even, you know more than I do. I don't know. So channel members. And so I got to the point where I could do channel members, and I earned it, but it wouldn't show up on my channel. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I have every other capability here. I could sell merch. I could do this. I could do that. And finally reached out to YouTube, and they said, well, you have too many demonetized videos to be approved for channel membership. In other words, you can't make money off of other people's content in an indirect way. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So in other words, all my 80s, 90s, things that everybody loves.
Right. I know that's essentially helped you take off was your 80s ride, right?
Yes. Yeah. So essentially you're, how they see it. And I understand it more now that I've got this 80s ride that I'm not monetized from it, but I'm still making my $3 a month from other way, and so you can't do that. So I had to pull all kinds of content off, and then finally, bloop, it showed up, and I was like, yes, But then all kinds of, channel subscribers were like, where's this ride? Where's that ride? Where's this ride? I'm like, I can't win, So, anyway, there's several, I would love to hear, what you're doing now, but there's Music Bed, there's Epidemic Music, there's artist list, and there's but there's another website called Licked, where you can use mainstream media or mainstream
buy it. It's like
music.
$8 a song though, right?
$8 a song. Everybody, hello.
I can't afford that right now.
You gotta subscribe, and you gotta start a Patreon. So
right. I will get the cool music eventually.
Well, and that's why I tell everybody, hey, support if you can, because I'm actually paying to do this, to give you a free class.
I'm making dime doing this.
Right. So where are you at with music?
Oh my gosh. As you know, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
I've posted classes or videos, and they get taken down or muted or whatever. And so doing the research, I found the ones that you mentioned, Licked, and all the other ones. So I finally came across NCS, no copyright sounds.
Yes. Yep.
And that is all I use now.
Yeah.
It's EDM-ish.
Yeah.
So if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but I can't do anything. So part of my Zumba membership, I do have no copyright Zumba music, but not everybody likes Latin music either.
Right. I like Latin.
I do.
Me gusta
I love
la
it,
música latina.
Oh.
Sí. También hablamos en español. No, it's pretty cool.
So, but it's been a struggle. The Tabata songs that I use, I did some research on them, and it comes up as an alert when I upload my video saying, hey, this is copywritten. But if you look up the Tabata songs, they say that you can use their stuff on YouTube videos if you encrypt their information on your video. So
gotcha.
I'm guessing that's the little name, like artists and stuff that you put in the corner. I think that's what that means.
Yeah, somewhere in the description or something like that.
Yeah, I put it in the description and stuff too. But I've resorted to just that and NCS stuff. I've been winning with that as far as the copyright stuff.
Yeah. And so the no copyright sound, are you finding that on YouTube or on Spotify, or where are you finding that? Yeah.
Yep. And they have a website too. And I don't know, nocopyrightsounds.com or something. You can
Okay.
download the music directly from their website and upload it. So I use that to overlay, like if I'm doing strength training off the bike or something, I can overlay it that way. But when I'm riding on the bike, I just play it through Spotify on my iPad.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. See, so if you're listening to this and you've said, hey, will you do more 90s? Hey, will you do more of
Mm-hmm.
this? We
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 did
really can't. We can't do that. And when we buy
Plus we
it, yeah, we're paying for it too, and
Mm-hmm.
so and it does take, a lot of views, a lot of subscribers to finally turn that over,
Yes.
to actually break even. I think most of us are in the negatives, the investment side,
Absolutely. I'm thousands of dollars into this.
Yeah, no, I love gadgets, and so, my wife makes me sell stuff. She's like, "If you're gonna get a new camera, you gotta sell the other one." I'm like, "All right, eBay, let's learn
Oh
eBay
my gosh.
now."
I'm
Yeah,
lucky my husband, he's in IT and he's all about the technology stuff. So he bought me all the lights and like
love it.
he chose all this stuff. So
Yeah.
he's been helping me.
No, it's he's done a great job. I
Yeah.
mean, it looks good.
Thank you.
But you can easily, like, spend so much money,
Oh, I
on
know.
everything, and so but that's fun, and I hope people understand a little bit, like, kinda the struggle
I know
that
some
we
people
have.
do. Shout out to Laura. Love you, Laura. But we've messaged about that before. Like
Yeah.
she understands. So I know that other people do too. So
Yeah. No, and I've contemplated making a video and just kind of explaining. Maybe I'll just clip this one up and put it up,
oh yeah.
and so that people kind of understand, what happened. Because this wasn't too long ago that I made that decision
Mhm.
to do that. Because again, the double-edged sword is the ones that were popular drew people to the channel,
Yep. Of
but
course.
they kind of hurt you on the backside
Mhm.
because you get, again, no monetization, no credit for it, and I
Mhm.
couldn't get channel membership approved. And
Yep.
so it's just like, oh man, so yeah, so that there's that. But tell me about tell me a little bit. I know that we all have, like, stories and things that we never thought would happen. Maybe
Mhm.
somebody in the comments, somebody called you. It could be at Cycle Bar that one of these things
Mhm.
happened. But I know that, having taught for about 15 years now, there's so many stories that people have come up to me, and said, "Hey,
Mhm.
you didn't know this, but thanks. I needed that."
Yeah.
I know you said you had some stories. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, the very first one that ever happened to me was I was teaching my own dance aerobics format. I called it Cardio Jam.
Yeah.
And there was it kind of attracted the senior crowd. And so
Okay.
we danced to like some Bob Seger and stuff. Anyway, this guy who his wife was dragging him in, he hated coming at first. And then he started getting into the music and stuff. Well, anyway, 9 months or so go by, and he came up to me at the end of class one day and he says, Jen, I've been suffering from lower back pain most of my adult life. And since I've been doing your class, it's gone.
Oh man,
I
that's
just
so cool.
tears, all the things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I changed this guy's life. This was so cool.
Yeah.
So that
I
that
love
really
that.
stuck with me. And then
Yeah.
side note,
So good.
I was diagnosed with clinical depression a few years ago.
Mm.
And I am medicated and doing very well.
Good, good.
But anyway, I talk about that in my cycle bar classes.
Yeah.
I talk about mental health and my struggles. And yes, I'm on medicine, and it's okay to be on medicine. And
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
you just have to do that. And
Sure.
anyway, I had a medication adjustment a couple months ago. And it came up, because I was getting dizzy from it during the class. I'm like, oh, I got a power pose for a sec. You guys keep doing your thing. Anyway, at the end of class, several people came up to me and were like, oh, I'm so glad that you told us this. Like, I've gone through this too. I've been on this, this, and this. And, it makes you realize that there's more people than you think going through stuff. And
Yes.
being open about that makes you more relatable and gives them the feeling too, like, hey, I'm not alone. And it was neat to like feel like I was able to help them feel not alone.
Yeah.
And
Now
go ahead.
no, no, please, please, I'm sorry.
Another one too was I don't know if she was a psychologist or a counselor. I can't remember, but she has thanked me a few times. Like, it's so great that you are so open about mental health and making it, you know, that letting people know that it's okay to talk about it. And
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, well,
No, I appreciate that because as we were getting closer to, and I didn't even mention this before we started recording and went, live with this, but I'm glad you brought it up, because I did read a few of your posts and I think it's so brave of you, to just put it out there and to just say, hey, this is, what I deal with, and I don't remember the exact way you phrased it, but you basically said, I'm okay with not being okay. And
yeah,
this is me,
yeah,
and I thank God for doctors. I thank God for medicine.
mhm.
I think that depending on uh, who you are around, there are people who have the other negative thoughts towards, certain things, like medications for
Well, I had
clinical
some guy at the
depression.
gym say, he's like, "Can't you just be happy?" And I was like, "You have no idea. You have no
Right.
idea."
Yeah. Yeah. No, and
But
I have family members too that have benefited, from medicine and really them having helping me, excuse me, understand, that it's not just, and you tell me if you're comfortable with it.
yeah.
It's not just a result of growing up a certain way or
Mhm.
something having happened, but there is literal like chemical imbalances
Oh,
that
absolutely.
that
It runs in
that
my
cause
family.
these things. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
mom, my aunt, my grandmother, my uncle, they've
Yeah.
all are either currently or have been on my mom is now.
Yeah.
It's something that runs in our family, and
Yeah.
I recognized some of the things that she did when I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh, I know what this is." And so that's what made me seek help.
Yeah.
And sure as all get out, I got diagnosed. So, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely for me, it's a chemical imbalance. I didn't have like some traumatic childhood upbringing or anything or nothing bad happened to me.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's just yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate it because
Yeah,
I don't I know that
there's different
especially
kinds. Yeah, there's
well,
different.
and especially like in the fitness world, everybody thinks, well, working out's going to get you through it and staying positive and certainly that's going to help. But
It does, but
yeah.
you can abuse it too.
Okay.
And that's what I did. I
Okay.
years I would use exercise to beat myself up. Oh, we're getting deep here.
Well,
Um,
if you don't mind, what do you mean by that? Like,
I would work out until I puked to
mm,
punish myself. That's a whole other story, but I recognize that that was not normal too,
yeah.
and I don't do that anymore. So
Well, again, thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
Again, I have family members and I don't want to like drag in it's,
Mhm.
go into any areas that you don't want to talk about, but
Okay.
all I know is that, uh, especially in the fitness lifestyle, if you will, people who make a habit of, or have healthy habits, if you will, of going
Mhm.
to the gym. And I'll give you an example of what I mean, because there could be people on completely opposite sides of what they think about, medication and all of the
Mhm.
above. I had knee surgery about 6 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh.
Had torn my meniscus about a year and a half ago. It never kept me away from the bike because the range of motion was wasn't I wasn't moving my leg far enough, and there was
Yeah.
no impact on the bike, which is why I love bikes, right? You keep doing it, and it's therapy, physical therapy.
Right. Right.
But it did limit me for the last couple years. I couldn't run, couldn't do lateral movements, couldn't do jumping jacks, couldn't do burpees, couldn't like
Oh
nothing
goodness.
leaving the ground and causing
Nothing high
any
impact.
impact. Correct.
Mhm.
So cycling was it for me. I'm so thankful that I could still do that all
Oh
these,
yeah.
the last couple years. But I just got tired of saying like I went through physical therapy, tried to strengthen all the muscles around it, but it wasn't going to heal itself, and I have great friends that are physical therapists, doctors. There's a doctor that takes my class, and so I had like one of the reasons why it took forever for me to decide was I had people saying, "No, it's the worst thing in the world. Don't ever get a surgery." And the other
Yeah.
people, I had it and it wasn't that bad and you're not going to regret it. And I'm just like, which one
I
do I
hear that
listen to?
too. Terrible
And so I'm,
recovery, good recovery. Like I hear that too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did my research. I took my time and I
Mhm.
said, I'm not going to jump in. I don't want injections because I don't want to cover up,
Yeah.
the
It's
pain.
a temporary fix.
Yeah, it's just temporary. Although it would feel nice, to
Mhm.
not feel it. Certainly don't want to make it worse by
Right.
not feeling it and getting a little crazy or whatever. But I guess where I'm going with this is that I can't imagine. I could imagine people kind of telling you both things, when it comes
Mhm.
to clinical depression.
Mhm.
Yes, no, it does help. Don't ever
Mhm.
do that. Why
Mhm.
can't you be happy? And kind of
Mhm.
finding that and what I guess what I appreciate about your story and about what you've shared and what you openly share on your Instagram is that with the full knowledge that there are people out there
Mhm.
that are completely against it,
Mhm.
you're still putting it out there,
Yeah.
and
I
that
mean,
gives hope to
I'm not for
people.
everybody,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna have the haters, and I'm gonna have people that don't agree with me or whatnot, and I'm okay with
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's a reflection of their own issues, is in my opinion. But
yeah.
yeah, is what it is,
It is,
and
well, and being online, is you're gonna get a lot of, I don't know how much, I feel like as instructors, we don't get as much, but we do still get a little bit of like hate, in our comments every here and there,
Mhm.
for, you know, I hate to, I don't even want to use the word hate, but we still get like the people that have the negative
They
Nellies
got
or
something
whatever.
to say.
And yeah, they got something to say. And you have to develop thick skin,
Mhm.
to do what we do in general, even if you weren't online, what you
Right.
do as
Yeah,
an
I've had
instructor.
people, not people. I've had one person come up to me at the end of class and tell me she hated my music, and I'm like, I didn't write the music, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's always gotta be somebody who's got the negative mentality and things, but all you can do is project that positivity out into the world and hope you receive it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I recently, and again, it always still kind of stings.
It
Don't you
does.
think it still
Oh, yeah.
stings?
Yeah, I went home and stewed about it for a couple hours. I'm like, "Why would she say that?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does. So recently, when I got surgery, I had another instructor who actually we worked together at Lifetime. She was teaching my classes. And so when I transitioned back into teaching a couple of weeks ago, she said, well, why don't we team teach? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That'd be fun, because I don't want to go full speed yet and whatever. And so for a couple of weeks, we did a team teaching type of situation, both of us up there, completely different styles. In my opinion, like it was a train wreck, but I don't want her to hear that. No, I'm just kidding. No, we pick on each other.
That's cool.
Uh, Kim knows I love her. So, but the third week, her name was still on there, and then I said, "Hey, I'm ready to go ahead and teach my class,
Yeah,
so you can pull your name
yeah,
out."
right. You're
And
done.
so I get to class, and I'm walking around because you know what we do before class. We're like,
Uh,
"Hey, how's it going,
yep,
Jim
yep,
and
everybody
Betty
pumped
and
up.
Bob?" And yeah, we're
Mhm.
we're we're working the like a comedian. We're working the room a little bit, right? We're
Yeah.
warming everybody up,
Never
right?
thought of it that way, but I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're good at working the room.
Yep.
That's what we do.
Work in the room.
Yes, and if you say that, I'll know you got that from me.
Okay, right.
So, all
Yep,
right.
sharing the lingo.
Yeah, and so a girl, I go there, "Hey, you ready to go?" She goes, I am a little disappointed that Kim's not teaching with you today." And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
and I said, "You're not supposed to tell the instructor that's about to teach that you're
Right.
disappointed that they're the only one in there." She goes, "No, no, no, I didn't mean that." And I kinda had a fun moment with it, but
Okay.
ow,
Yeah.
ow, right? Like,
At least you're able to laugh about it.
yeah,
In the moment,
yeah.
but yeah, you probably were like, "Oh."
Yeah, and I don't, honestly, I don't think people, maybe they do, maybe they don't. There's always trolls out there. Speaking of online, but even in person, like
Yeah.
I don't, I don't think, I don't know if they get it, if they know kind of the little sting they cause, or
They
whatever.
probably have
But
no idea.
yeah, I'm guessing that
Mhm.
for the most part, they don't know
Right.
they're saying. So
Yep. It's hard
anyway,
subbing too, like, being the sub.
yeah,
'Cause, like, for example, at Cycle Bar, like, there was one time I decided, or I took on a sub class, and there was already a bunch of people signed up for it. And then I got my name on there, and then, a few dropped off, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Choop, 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 choop.
but I'm not for everybody. That's okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. I know.
Yep.
I mean, every instructor knows that
Oh
feeling.
yeah.
Every instructor.
Yep.
So if you're listening to this,
Hmm.
have some grace with us, right?
Yeah.
Be gentle with our hearts. We put it all out there.
We're human too.
We are. And the thing that maybe this might help some people understand is that we really are putting our passion out there.
Hmm.
Our heart is front and center. And
Hmm.
when you put your heart front and center to the public, right?
It's very
Whether that
vulnerable.
it's so vulnerable. And then when
Mhm.
somebody says,
Yep.
you're like, what? Like, just,
Ah!
you don't have to like it, but you don't have to be mean either,
Right, right.
Like,
You can
come
keep your
on.
opinion to yourself, okay? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But you learn to, and
You get a
obviously,
tough shell.
yeah, for sure,
Mhm.
for sure. You learn to take, to find any truth in it, right? Because
Mhm.
there may be a little bit of truth to what they're saying, you know?
Right. Yeah, you
Yeah,
just gotta evaluate it and see if there's anything you can learn from it, and if it's just legit mean,
yeah.
water off a duck's back.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
like that. So I wanna end with something that I didn't tell you I was gonna do,
Okay.
but this is kind of fun, and it may even be, better if you didn't know. But I want to end with a lightning round, okay? And all it is I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna say a few statements. You repeat the statement and you finish the statement, okay?
Ooh,
So, for
okay.
example, if I said, um, my favorite color is this because you would say, my favorite color is this because whatever, right?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
just repeat it and then finish it.
And
And
then
you
I
don't have to
answer it.
and it doesn't have to be a super long answer. It just has to be like whatever comes to mind. No right or wrong.
Okay.
It's just a fun little thing. So, all right, you
Okay.
ready? All right,
I
here we
think
go.
so.
One thing I do every morning that sets me up for success is
One thing that I do every morning that sets me up for success is clearly coffee. And I light a candle every morning. And I thank the universe for everything that it's provided me.
caffeine and candles.
Yes.
You you can make a shirt and sell it at Cycle Bar. I like
Ooh.
that.
Hey,
Yeah.
we'll split
The revenue, right?
the revenue.
Whatever. We talk now we're talking YouTube
We're making
lingo. Yeah.
business ideas here.
Yeah, I like it. No, coffee and candle. You know what? Now I'm thinking of like a theme for a ride, coffee and
Ooh.
candles. So,
Let's do a
yeah,
dual ride.
let's do a dual ride. We did talk about doing
Yeah.
a collaboration. We'll figure that out for
Okay.
sure, for
Okay.
sure. But that's kind of cool. Okay. Um, one book that has changed my life is
Ooh, one book that has changed my life is there's two. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, I think is her name. The best self-help book ever. She's funny, she's relatable. It's just it just made me feel seen to read that book. It was wonderful. And then professionally, I think it's called Way of the Wolf by the Wolf of Wall Street guy, Jordan something. Way of the Wolf. I mastered sales because let's be real, I sell memberships at the gym. I
yeah,
mastered my sales because of that book. So if you're in
love it.
sales, read that book.
I love it. So I'm assuming you watched a little Alex Harmozy
I have
on
not.
okay, you
Nope.
have to because
Okay.
he's total he started out by he has like a multi-million dollar, I mean, he's huge guy
Uh-huh.
on online, but his whole thing was he started Gym Launch. I think it's called Gym Launch.
Hmm.
And he trained and he taught people how to scale gyms. And it was all about like the art of the sale and kind of that whole thing. So look up Alex Harmozy, I think is
Okay.
how you say his last name. YouTube, he's all over YouTube.
Okay.
You'll
Yeah.
see
Totally
like a
gonna look
little
that up.
thing on his nose. And anyway, love it. Thank you. Thank you. One
Mhm.
unusual, and this we'll see how this goes. One unusual daily ritual that supports my productivity is
One unusual daily ritual that supports my productivity is I don't know if it's unusual, but I listen to new music constantly. I got an earbud in my ear all the time trying to find the latest and greatest songs for my playlists.
yeah.
Um, and then oh, for success. I journal every day, but see these it's not really unusual though.
No, maybe not, but it is something that sets you up for success. So I could just see Jen at the front, you know, over at her club. Nobody sees the AirPod because her
I got my
hair's
hair down.
covering it, right? And they're like, "Why wouldn't you join the club today? It's the best thing ever." But wait a minute.
Right.
Right.
Oh, what's the BPM on
I
the
just
song?
heard a song. Yeah. All right. Yes. But anyway, where were we? Let me sign you up. Just kidding.
That's me.
All right. I like it. I like it. Okay. So, two more things. One of my favorite pieces of advice to give others is.
One of my favorite pieces of advice to give others is you got nothing to lose. You just do it. If you are afraid of something, it's probably because you should do it.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's so true. It's so true.
It is. Yeah. So many people are their own worst enemy or they get in their own way. In fact, that's one of my things I was talking about at Cycle Bar the other day. Stop getting in your own way.
Yeah.
Like, why are you holding yourself back?
I love it.
Nike, just do it.
There is a guy on YouTube and his name is Sean. Man, I can't remember his last name now. He has Think Media. And he always says, just, you know, for those of us who do YouTube, he says, he has a saying that says, your first video is your worst video, but go ahead and do it. Just do it, you know.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, rip it off. Go for it. Go for it. Okay, one more. Now, I know we're already in March, but if you want to make 2024 better than 2023, make sure you.
If you want to make 2023 better than 2000, oh wait. If you want to make 2024 better than 2023.
Maybe I said it backwards. I don't know.
I don't know. It's me. It's probably me. How do you say this? Goal setting. Everybody sets goals.
Yes.
But they don't think about the action to get those goals done.
Love it.
Sitting back, like, yeah, you got your New Year's resolution, but what are you going to do to get there? Like mine, I've always wanted a six-pack. I know it's kind of silly, but I've always wanted a six-pack. And so I had to sit back and think, like, nutrition, that's huge in my goal. How am I going to alter my meal planning to get there? How am I going to alter my exercise to get there? So anyway, to make this year better than last year, think about the actions you got to take to get there, to get it better.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Because so many people have great intentions, but your intentions aren't going to get you anywhere. You got to put some goals behind that.
Wish and hope and say you want all the things in the world, but if you don't have an action plan, it's just going to continue to be that wish, that hope that you can't grab onto.
Yeah. You heard it first from Jen here, everybody. Set some action plans behind your goals. Hey, Jen, I really appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for saying yes. I know it's, you know, we've showed each other a little bit of love back and forth online, and then I made the invitation.
Yes.
You said yes, and I'm so grateful that you did. I'm so grateful that people got to hear more of your story.
Yes.
And I can't wait for a collaboration. We're going to do something fun. So we will figure this out. We'll figure out how to do this online and share video together online and help more people. We'll help each other help more people.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Help all the people.
Yep. We love you out there. If you're listening, if you take our classes, thank you.
Thank you.
If you're not subscribed to Jen's channel, I will put it in the comments below in the descriptions. Make sure you go check her out because she's amazing.
You guys are amazing. Thank you.
We'll see you on the next one, guys. Yeah.